Hello everyone, it's Darkseeker here again. Welcome back for another video. Now, we were a couple of days away from the next Hearthstone expansion being released, and I thought to myself, how far can I get on the wild mode ladder before the expansion gets released? So, I came across this deck here, the Prollystoned Reno Mage. Now, how does the deck work? Well, it's a good all-purpose deck. It can do very well against aggro because you have cards like Frostbolt, Arcane Blast, Doomsayer, Mad Scientist, which are just really good early on to trade into and contest aggro minions. As you move into sort of the mid game, you have your board clears like Volcanic Potion, and then in the late game you've got Flame Strike. And of course, Kazakus potions, the 5-cost potions, are really good against aggro. And Reno Jackson on turn 6 can pretty much seal out the game against an aggro deck, particularly Pirate Warrior. If you have Reno on turn 6, it's usually game over for them. Against control decks, then, you have N'Zoth the Corruptor to bring back a huge selection of... I say huge selection, there aren't many Death Rattle minions in this deck, but the minions themselves are pretty huge. Sylvanas, Sludge Belcher, Deathlord. They are difficult to remove, they're difficult to take down, they're difficult to contest. So good value with a late game push against control decks can be provided by N'Zoth the Corruptor. Obviously, if it all goes horribly wrong in a control game, then Brand Kazakus can give you 2 potions, and ideally you'd be looking for something like Mystic Wool to neutralise big enemy threats on the board. It's my favourite potion. So let's have a look at this deck in action now on the wild mode ladder. And we're starting off against a Warlock, and I'm going to keep the Deathlord. I'm going to keep Primordial Glyph. Gives me something to do early, and Doomsayer is pretty nice too. Now I always speculate, what kind of a Warlock is it? I've not seen a Zoolock for quite some time, so my assumption will be that it is Renolock. Yep, the tap all but confirms it, unless it's a Zoolock with a bad starting hand. Pyros is a good start for us, I think. We're pretty much guaranteed to get value on Pyros now, unless there's a silence effect of some kind, like Spellbreaker, or dare I say, Iron Beak Cowl. Anyway, who plays Iron Beak Cowl now? So we get the 6-cost Pyros back to hand. Feels good. So the Renolock is just going to go through his arsenal of minions here, and I'm expecting Twilight Drake. I'm expecting Mountain Giant very shortly. Okay, counter spell is reasonable, I guess. Maybe we can block a Twisting Nether. Maybe we can block a Shadow Flame. Oh my goodness, Draconoid Operative. Now, you sort of see that and you think, what? Am I playing against Dragon Warlock? And then you realise, oh, it's a priest card, and he discovered it. Fair enough. But he's now stolen a card from my deck, and the question is, what has he stolen? My deck is chock full of high-value cards, so stealing a Belcher, stealing a Sylvanas is pretty damaging. We could kill the Imp Gang boss, but it's just going to spawn imps. So I think the only thing we can do now is ping, weaken his operative, and go face. Again, we could. I was just thinking, was there any worth in trading into the operative with the 2/3? No. Okay, so we have. Ooh. Defender of Argus. We have a 5-cost Flame Strike that we can use, if needed. And the Deathlord brings out a Doomsayer. Sure. Ladies and gentlemen, That is why you play Deathlord. Because it brings out things like Doomsayer, which clears their board. And of course, on any other given day, I'll be saying to you, don't play Deathlord, because it brings out things like Sylvanas or Sludge Belcher. Yeah, there are games where I've died to minions that have come out of Deathlord, like in an earlier game it brought out Alexstrasza for my opponent, and I just didn't have a way to deal with her, and he just did 8 to the face for 2 or 3 turns and it was over. Anyway, back to the game at hand. So many options in my hand here, so many ways of clearing board. Flamestrike, Meteor, Blizzard, Doomsayer, Doomsayer Blizzard combo. Yeah, lots of ways of clearing board. Kazakus is in hand. And we have threats too. We have Alexstrasza as an 8/8 body. We have Pyros as a 6/6 body. Yeah, so versatility, flexibility evident in this deck. And that's a real problem. We have to deal with that. We can't allow the Emperor to live. The question is, how do we deal with it? We could trade, but we'd leave the Earthen Ring alive. Or we can kill the Earthen Ring as well with Arcane Blast Ping. But I want to, I don't know, I don't want to do that. I want to keep my 5/4 alive. So we could Flamestrike Ping. We could Flamestrike Ping. We could Meteor. But I want to save Meteor for big threats like Mountain Giant and Twilight Drake. So I think we have to Flamestrike Ping here. See, there's a lot of decision making that goes into playing this deck. It's not straightforward at all, and I don't even know if that was the right play. I don't play very much Reno Mage, so you'd have to excuse any misplays that you see in this video, but it seemed like a sensible play to me. Oh god. Oh my god. Okay. I saw the Mountain Giant and I felt happy, thinking, yay, Meteor value. And then he played the Shambler and the Drake. Okay. Well, at least we can clear the 8 attack minions. That feels good. Alright, so Doomsayer now is in play, and the question is, what will he use? What will he sacrifice? What spell will he throw away to kill my Doomsayer? Will it be a Shadow Bolt? Because I have a counter spell up. So he may waste a Siphon Soul, he may waste a Shadow Bolt on this Doomsayer, and we just laugh when counter spell kicks in. Okay, decides he's not going to throw a spell at it. Sure. And now is a perfect time to play Kazakus and Bran. 10-cost spell is the way to go. Mystic Wool is my favourite spell, so we auto-pick it. Not thrilled with this. I mean, 3 friendly minions is reasonable, but the trouble is Doomsayer could be brought back to life, and that's a problem. If we're bringing back 3 minions, we may as well give them some health. I was tempted by the armour, but yeah, if we bring them back to life, give them health. Plays around Hellfire, plays around Demon Wrath. Speaking of Demon Wrath, that's Demon Wrath countered. Presumably he was testing for the counter spell. I don't blame him. Yeah, throw away useless spell and then play another spell that does something. Meteor, which he stole. But playing Meteor on Bran Kazakus is actually okay, because now it paves the way for Pyros and later Sylvanas, so that's absolutely fine. He's obviously worried about his health total, and he's worried about taking excessive damage from minions on the board, hence why he used the Meteor, and you don't leave Bran alive either. Oh wow! Faceless Manipulator. Okay, so that's saying to me that
I have no time for games.
This is the aggressive version of Renolock, with the combo. Faceless Manipulator, Power Overwhelming, Leroy. And he's just used the Faceless Manipulator. So his combo is dead, basically. Or mostly dead. Leroy, Power Overwhelming is still a problem. Oh, okay. So, I'd play Sylvanas to hopefully just contest his Pyros, hoping to steal it. But he's doing the sensible thing. He's flooding the board, hoping that I don't steal Pyros. So I'm going to assume he's going to go face here. No, he's trading. Okay. Damn it. He got the second worst minion. But at least we get duplicate Sylvanas. I mean, that's something. That's so awkward for him. Okay, we could Flame Strike here. But I don't know if I want to. I want to steal Pyros. I have my heart set on stealing it. I'm determined. Because he stole it from me with Faceless Manipulator. So, we have to clear the 4-5. We have Arcane Blast. We have a ping that we can utilise. The question is, how do we want to go about doing it? So I think Arcane Blast on the 4-5 is sensible. Yeah, this is good. We keep the 2-2 healthy. We will not trade with the 2-2 into the 1-3. If he wants to trade, he's welcome to do so.
Deal.
Yeah, we just push damage. So, Sylvanas on this board is very, very awkward. And if this Sylvanas fails, I'll just play another one. And that was dangerous for me. Just barely missing Reno there. I think I would have cried if the Dirty Rat brought out Reno, because that would have put me under pressure. Anyway, Twisting Nether is gone. We can strike that spell off the list now and perhaps be liberal with what we play, knowing that he's not really going to be able to do big board clears anymore. So, I mean, there's Hellfire, right? Okay, sure.
Side effects? No.
Well, we sacrificed Sylvanas. And my reason for playing Sylvanas again was just to try and stop him from playing something else big or massive. So he had to invest in clearing it. There's his Reno. So we've seen Siphon Soul. We've seen Blast Crystal Potion. How do you kill a 10-10 now? Alright. 20 health versus 20 health. I think I've got the advantage. Okay, probably not anymore. Bran Kazakus. Oh dear, this could be awkward. If he gets like a Mystic Wall Potion, that could be very awkward. I'll need to be very careful with what else I now play onto the board. Power Overwhelming. Shadow Bolt. Okay. And trade. Okay, that's one way of killing a 10-10. We're not flame striking that board. And we're not doing anything else either. Let him sit there with his Kazakus potions. Okay, there's one potion. Oh my god. And that is super bad for us. But he's in fatigue. He's in fatigue. All that tapping that he did, he's now in fatigue. And we have to neutralise that board. So what he may go for now is one last big push with stuff on the board. But the trouble is, there's an 8-8. Yeah, contest an 8-8 with a 10-10 Pyros. Sure. It doesn't matter though. I have Polymorph. I have Blizzard. I have all the tools here that are necessary. And you may ask yourself, was that board worth blizzarding? Was Blizzard worth it there? Yeah, it is. It just keeps it clear. And we have Flame Strike still, right? Oh, wow. It's going for the demons. Okay, but he's dead. Taking the fatigue damage, I think, has basically sealed this game off. There's nothing he can do now.
Well played.
And there we go. Nice victory against a Renolock. Feels really good. Okay, this next game is against a warrior. Now we have Reno in hand, which pretty much, I think, gives us a really good chance of winning this game, because the assumption is that it's going to be Pirate Warrior. It always is, right? It always is Pirate Warrior. And there's the cannon. He's taking a gamble that I don't have a Frostbolt. Interesting gamble. Now, we could play the Scientist, but actually Glyph is better here. Yeah, Glyph has to be better, because the Scientist will just die easily to a weapon. With Glyph, we get to discover a spell that we can use, and that Forgotten Torch will kill off the ship's cannon. And yeah, that's fine. I mean, okay, I could have played the Scientist and then played the Glyph on turn 3 and discovered a 1-cost torch. I could have done it like that, right? I think I was just so desperate to discover something to deal with the ship's cannon. And even if I didn't discover the torch or a viable spell, I could have got like a 5-cost Flame Strike, for example. That would have been good. Because I think we could survive till turn 5, right? Well, it's not a given. Pirate Warriors can kill you by turn 5. And what do we get? Ice Block. Sure. I mean, I have Reno in hand. I'm feeling safe now with Ice Block in play and a heal bot in hand. I have all the tools here, all the tools to survive. If only he could see my hand. If only. There's the Pyros. I think Healbot's fine here. I don't think I even need to play the Healbot. I could have just pinged and played the Pyros, but this is fine. I just feel a little bit safer having played the Healbot. And I don't know what he did there. Whoops indeed, that was a strange play. Okay, based on how he's playing, I think we win the game. Regardless of what happens now. It's a very unusual play, and I'm not sure what prompted it. sure. May as well just put the Pyros down. We'll soon get value from it. We'll be able to play the 6/6 body, and we'll just overpower him. Interesting. Do you know what? I think he misclicked. I think he intended to play upgrade on that earlier turn where he overwrit his weapon. I think he was intending to upgrade his weapon and he misclicked. It happens to the best of us. Fair enough. So, what do I do here? Belcher?
I wonder.
I think Belcher is solid. We don't need to Reno here. I just want to exhaust him of options. I mean, if I played the Reno, maybe it would have been fine. Healing to 30 when he's only got one thing on board is good. But there's no need. There is absolutely no need. Okay, Heroic Strike. I was expecting him to trade the Corcoran and the weapon into the Belcher, but oh wow. Oh my goodness, wow, what a hand. What a series of plays there. So he had every tool there to destroy the Belcher and have two Corcorans left standing on the board there. Wow. And we're just dragging this out a bit more. We're basically going to wait until he has nothing left. And then we're going to play Reno. Seems cruel, right? And this guy really likes overwriting his weapons.
Blood and plunder.
And I think it's worth a well played.
We're gonna be rich.
He's out of stuff. There's the duplicate.
Trust the pirate's code.
Oh, he hasn't conceded. I was expecting to concede. Oh, he still wants to play. Sure. Again, every tool in hand to deal with a Pirate Warrior's board.
Incredible discovery.
If you'd like to play Arcanite Reaper, we have an ooze. Oh, he's still wanting to play. Unbelievable.
How much?
Now, at this rate, we'll be able to play N'Zoth.
I have no time for games.
Which is always an interesting achievement against Pirate Warrior. If you can say that you've played N'Zoth the Corruptor with minions coming back to life against Pirate Warrior, what an accomplishment. What an accomplishment.
Blood and plunder.
X marks the spot.
I can't believe he's still
Trust the
going.
pirate's code.
Does he know something that I don't know? Is there like a Deathwing in his deck? I don't get it. I don't get why he's still playing. Anyway, maybe he's hoping that I'll take pity on him. And there we are. We played it. Managed to play N'Zoth.
None survive.
And it's over. Right, we're joining this game in progress, and it's against a Druid who's got a Raptor on the board, and I have a Pyros on the board. So, let's take careful note. Duplicate is up. And I'm trying to bait him into trading here so I can get my Pyros back to hand, or 2 copies back to hand. It's an attractive trade. If he trades, the Raptor will summon a 1-cost minion. It's an attractive trade. Do you trade? Do you trade? No, he decides not to trade. But he still kills my Pyros. And I'm perfectly happy with that. I mean, you've got to ask yourself, what are the chances of Duplicate being active? There's Counter Spell, Ice Barrier, Ice Block. What are the chances it was Duplicate? So he took a risk, he took a gamble, and it did not pay off. And as a result, I'm going to get mega value with Pyros. And yes, that is worthy of a screenshot. This doesn't happen often for me. I don't often get Duplicate pulled off on Pyros. When I try, you know, it's usually a mage that polymorphs Pyros and gives me a sheep or 2 sheep back to hand. You know, so I'm so happy that I was able to pull that off. The thing is, though, you look at Pyros as 6 cost, and it's still quite slow, right? It's still quite expensive. It's still quite slow. And he's playing lots of these beasts. He's going to be playing at quite a swift pace. So thankfully we have AoE. Oh, that's actually one of the best 1-cost minions that you can get. That's actually quite awkward. That's going to do 3 damage to my face. And I'm not thrilled with that, because we do not have Reno Jackson in hand. If we had Reno in hand, I wouldn't care what he played or what he did, because I just know that I'd be able to make some kind of a comeback. We have Ice Block, though. But I won't feel happy and I won't feel safe until I draw into him. Yep, there he is, right? I feel happy now. We can't lose this game. Well, that's the view that I'm taking. And it's between the Counterspell, the Ice Block, and the Ooze. We play the Ooze. So the Ooze there just is a body. There's no weapons played. It contests his 3-2. Well, maybe Counterspell would have been better. It would have stopped Ragnaros from coming out. And now I'm scared. Ouch. That damage to my face is significant. And now I've got to start thinking, can he kill me? What about Living Roots to the face with some kind of a charging beast? I mean, what can he do to kill me here? Double swipe Living Roots? Is that a possibility? I'm going to assume that his deck plays swipe. Anyway, it's fine. We're not dead, so now we just heal to 30. So now I'm expecting to concede. Oh, look, there it is. So, are you noticing a trend in this video so far? Most of the time they see Reno and they give up. Reno has that effect on people, I think, and I think it's a very tilting effect. As an opponent, you're always hoping that Reno isn't in hand. Okay, let's just join this game in progress against a mage. Now let's count the fireballs. 1 fireball, 2 fireball, bit of thinking time. Which cheap spell do I want to take to get another fireball? That's what he's thinking about. Still thinking. Finish thinking. Still have 2 mana. Aha. 3 fireballs to hand. And would that be it? 3 fireballs? Yeah, 3 fireballs. Okay, so this was quite a scary game. I was going up against like a freeze mage or like a burn mage. And when you see those fireballs, you think, oh god, how do I survive? Because he can just burn me down over 2 turns, right? I don't have Reno in hand. I'm Alexstrasza, but it's a really scary thing. You see, my deck works over the long game. It gathers value slowly over the long game. Freeze Mage does a similar thing, but then they just kill you over 2 turns, and we're at that point now where we're in danger of dying. So killing Tony was a priority. And when you see that get played, Alexstrasza, you know you're dead, because you know that Fireball, Frostbolt is enough to pop a block. And he's probably then got another Fireball in hand for the following turn. He has probably gathered that I'm a Reno Mage, and therefore will only play 1 ice block. He probably plays 2 ice blocks. So it's quite interesting here, the dynamics. Doomsayer comes down just to stop him playing a body, but the thing is, he doesn't need to. Look, he just plays fireballs. Now, Counterspell was a big help there. Thank God I had Counterspell. But there's a second fireball from Antonidas. So now my health total is ridiculously low, but I'm really happy that he's committing all of this burn. I mean, he doesn't know that I have Alexstrasza in hand. He's hoping I don't have Reno in hand. So we have to Alexstrasza here defensively, otherwise we just die. Well, we don't die, the block gets popped. So we try and reduce the chances of him being able to pop the block. Wow, Kabbalist Tome. He's clearly looking for more burn, obviously, or maybe looking for an additional ice block, perhaps, that he can play. Sorry, excuse me. God, I'm wheezing. So,
what to do?
He may want to prioritise with killing Alex here. I mean, it's an 8/8 body, it does damage. My assumption is that the 2 secrets in play are Ice Block and Ice Barrier. That's what you'd expect a Freeze Mage to play. Okay, another fireball from Antonidas.
An incredible discovery!
And he's still discovering, or drawing, I should say, secrets. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. What do we do here? Do we just throw Alex into the face? And then use Firelands Portal on the 2/3?
What to do? What to do?
I think I value Firelands Portal on the 2/3 here. Instead of Volcanic Potion Ping. I want to get something on board. And that is something. Hallazeal, healing for 4. Yes, that is amazing. That could just have saved me. Yeah, there's the ice barrier, sure. That could just have saved me. Interesting. Really, really interesting. Healing for 4. And look, I have a Kazakus potion that does damage. We can get more healing. Or not. Okay, so Kabbalist Tome there gave him Meteor. It's really good for him. Okay, let's play 2 minions and ping, sure. So, we're still worried about getting our block popped. I've lost track of how many fireballs he's played and how many are left in his deck. Pyroblast is the other big concern, so obviously here he's drawing for damage. And in situations like this, N'Zoth the Corruptor doesn't really do a huge amount if you're on a clock. So Frost Nova is buying him time. That secret is buying him time. Whatever that second secret is, he's clearly stalling here until he can get the damage to kill me. So I think I just throw Burn at his face and summon a demon too. So now I'm putting him on a clock and I'm saying, look, you sir need to kill me ASAP or those minions on that board are gonna smash your face. And let's see if he's got another stall effect, another way of delaying me.
I wonder.
There's 10 damage to my face. That's the Pyroblast played. Okay. Healbot? Sure. I'm assuming that's Ice Barrier. Misplay. Okay. I thought... Bloody hell. Okay. I thought it was Ice Barrier. So I was planning to do 8 into the barrier, then 6 with the Pyros ping, and then 2 with the Scientist to pop his block. I misread that completely, obviously. I mean, I don't think it was a misplay on my part. I think it was safe to assume it was Ice Barrier, Ice Block, because that's usually what it is. But Cabalist's Tome clearly has confused things for me. Anyway, can we assume then that that new secret is Ice Block? I think we can. But you see, he kills my Scientist, and that's good. Brings a secret out, gives me sheep. That's bad. But it thins the deck. And there's one card now that we're looking for. That's not it. We're looking for Reno. Okay, we're looking for Reno Jackson. Where is Reno? Those of you who are watching this video that are a bit older will probably remember the Where's Wally cartoon strips from years ago. So Where's Wally, and you'd have to look at this cartoon and this picture rather, or an image, and try and find Wally. Where is he in the picture? Yeah, it's a bit like that. Where's Reno? Where is he hiding? Once again, I'm concerned about the amount of burn, the amount of damage that he can still do to me. 5 cards left in my deck. Reno is hiding. Bloody hell, there's another fireball.
Excuse me, you are on...
Medea's Valet and ping, sure. Pop the block. Very clean. Very skilled and very clean. Yeah. Much better than my earlier attempt at popping his block. But look, asking you shall receive.
Well played.
Well played. There it is.
Gonna be rich.
You win this.
That was so very lucky. So lucky. We drew him when we needed him. He answered our prayers. And we're into rank 8. Feels really, really good. And by the way, it is one of the drawbacks of Reno decks. If you just don't draw him when you need him, you lose. It's that simple. Okay, this next game is joined in progress against a Mech Mage at rank 6. And it's a fascinating game because you don't tend to see very much Mech Mage on the ladder. They don't tend to exist anymore. A couple of years ago with GVG, Mech Mage was all the rage. It was everywhere. Everyone played Mech Mage for a while on the ladder because it was essentially today's version, or it was the 2 years ago version of today's Pirate Warrior, right? Pirate Warrior today is so aggressive, and it works by flooding the board very early, playing those early pirates, getting your value with patches, getting a good presence on the board very early, doing a lot of face damage early. And by the time your opponent can gather their thoughts and react, it's too late. And Mech Mage was kind of similar. If you got Mech War put out early and you had the coin, you could usually bring out 2 or 3 mechs very, very early, and if they couldn't be answered, the mech train would just keep going. You just keep playing more mechs. And it was super aggressive. And then things changed a little bit and more aggressive decks sort of arrived, or other decks took over. So Secrets Paladin kind of took over on the ladder after Mech Mage. And then today you've got Pirate Warrior, Aggro Shaman. So Mech Mage on WoW mode has sort of been forgotten. But very occasionally you'll see people playing it. And this guy here, he's playing it at rank 6. Clearly, he's made it work. And it's sort of making me feel nostalgic. It's making me want to go back in time and play Mech Mage again. And maybe I will. Maybe I will. Anyway. The Pyros on the board there, not doing a huge amount at the moment. Is he trading? He is trading, interesting. Interesting. And there's the counterspell, okay. Not the best value on counterspell. I mean, you'd want to block Fireball, you'd want to block Frostbolt. I have to trade Pyros here, I think. But we can draw a spell first, or discover a spell. Ice Block is helpful. Second Ice Block is very helpful. Now I remember making a deck about 1.5 years ago with spare parts, so mechs and spare parts, so Clockwork Gnome, Mechanical Yeti, Gorilla Bot. You'd harvest all of these spare parts. Toshli, you'd harvest all of these spare parts. And then you'd play Antonidas and get unlimited fireballs, and then get the stealth spare part, stealth Antonidas, win the game. It was a lot of fun when you pulled it off. So of course what will be curious is my opponent playing Antonidas. That will be interesting to see. We haven't seen Mechanical Yeti, and I think if Antonidas is in the deck, you'd expect Mechanical Yeti to appear. The drawback of the Yeti, though, is that it gives your opponent a spare part as well. That's not good. Or sometimes it doesn't even matter. The Annoytron is living up to its moniker and its name. It's being annoying. How do we kill it? You know, we'll have to ping trade or ping volcanic potion. And there's Osrook. Ah, well, bit awkward. A bit awkward. Okay, I guess we trade. And there's the Pyros. So, how does he deal with Pyros? There is going to come a point in this game that if we can deal with his bodies and threats that he plays, that we can start pushing aggression. Because N'Zoth the Corruptor is in hand, and once our Death Rattle minions are killed off, we bring them back to life, and then we can push. But Lotheb, interesting. Lotheb is a really good card against Mage, often, especially against Freeze Mage. If you time Lotheb correctly against Freeze Mage, then they can't play those spells that kill you in one turn, you know, and you buy yourself a bit more time. It's decent against Tempo Mage. Against Reno Mage, it's not so good, because Reno Mage, well, this version of Reno Mage, will have other options. It'll have more minion options, like Sylvanas, N'Zoth, Reno. There are things you can do, things you can play that are not spells, and there's a chance you'll have a selection of those options in your hand. So, I mean, in this case, it's a 5/5 body, I guess, that stopped me from playing a spell, but not minions. Now, why did I play Sylvanas? Sylvanas has Taunt. He can't play anything else. He has to kill her first. So I'm expecting a trade with Lotheb. Why is that good? It means that Lotheb's 5 damage is not hitting my face. That's why I played Sylvanas. If he can trade, brilliant. Because I'll just bring her back to life with N'Zoth. But he chooses to go face. Okay, just skipping ahead in this game. We did play the Reno. He played Dr. Seven. And we respond with a Death Lord and a duplicate. Can you smell it? Can you feel it? The N'Zoth value is going to be insane. Speaking of insane, Goblin Blast Mage. I've forgotten about that card. It's actually really good. 4 to the face is pretty good too. We've played Reno, so we don't have a huge amount that we can do for healing now. We are we're in a bit of a pickle here if he can do a lot more damage to our face. And he has cards in hand, right? He has options in hand, so he could flood the board. But we have Flame Strike, we have Volcanic Potion, we have a Kazakus Potion. Yes, play more stuff. That's good. That's good too. Yes, kill the Death Lord, bring out a minion. Give me more Death Lords. And now let me Flame Strike and win the game. So that's the line of thinking there, right? That's the line of thinking. And doing 10 to the face there is significant. We're putting him on a clock now. And we have another Death Lord. Oh, and there is Antonidas. He actually does play Antonidas. We'd speculated about that earlier. So, 1 fireball to the hand. Okay. He didn't have another spare part. But we have to kill Tony. We can't leave Tony alive. And if I didn't have that potion, I would have struggled to kill Tony. And then you run the risk of him getting infinite value on fireballs, and then things just go horribly, horribly wrong. So, in Mech Mage, Antonidas can be another win condition. If flooding the board with mechs doesn't work, you play Antonidas, and you can still win the game. And a lot of people don't expect Antonidas in Mech Mage. They just expect mechs, because that's what the deck is built around. So we still have options here of clearing the board. But we don't need to worry about that anymore. I think we can just be aggressive, we can just go face, we can ignore his board, because we have Blizzard, we have Volcanic Potion. More importantly, we have N'Zoth the Corruptor, which will fill our board up. And of course he's having to work now to clear my taunts. He's having to trade. We're forcing him to react. So Clockwork Gnome for a spare part. But there's no Antonidas anymore, so it's fine. We could Blizzard here. We could Volcanic Potion here. The Volcanic Potion seems reasonable. Or we could ping the Shredder first. Meh. Okay. That was annoying, it had 3 health. So we just Doomsayer. So the Doomsayer now stops him from playing a significant minion or a threat. And it's now paving the way for N'Zoth the Corruptor. And there it is. Look at the value. Double Pyros on board. Sylvanas, Deathlords. It's brilliant. Now, I was considering Arcane Intellect to draw into Fireball. But this was more fun. Right? This is a lot more fun. Oh, wow. I'm Geek-Owl.
Well played.
This was a really fun game. A really, really fun game to play. Now we can Arcane Intellect for Fireball. No? Okay, so I wouldn't have drawn it anyway if I'd played Arcane Intellect on the previous turn. Fair enough. There we go. And there's the bonus streak. Now, I made friends with this player after the game, and he befriended me, actually, and he said it was a nice game. Could he watch me play in the future? He said it was an interesting deck, and a very friendly individual. Spreading positivity in Hearthstone is certainly a good thing, for sure. And we did have a rematch, by the way, and he beat me with Lotheb, strangely. So, yeah, he got his revenge in the end, though. Right, we're going to look at one last set of highlights here. And in this game, we get insane value from Pyros. He had a choice to make. Did he want to give me duplicate value on Kazakus, or did he want to give me duplicate value on Pyros? He chose Pyros. And we get 2 more back to the hand. Feels good.
I am ready.
So just skipping forward a little bit here. There is a Doomsayer on the board, and now I'm going to make the heads up play, I think, of fireballing my own Deathlord. So now, whatever comes out of the Doomsayer dies. And Sylvanas, well, that is a threat that we won't have to deal with as the game goes on. And the Pyros value here just continues. We've got another 6-cost Pyros that we can play from our hand. Power Overwhelming into Counterspell feels really good. Clearly he was going for a Shadow Flame play there. Of course, what would that have accomplished? It would have put 2 10-cost Pyros bodies back into my hand, which I can then just play one turn after another. And of course, N'Zoth the Corruptor eventually would just net us even more value. So, skipping forward again, we've got a 10-cost Pyros on the board. There's an Alexstrasza on the board too. Now that was forced out of our deck. Twisting Nether though, just to clear the board, and an Ooze as a body. The thing is, we're not short of things to play. And at this juncture in the game, I'm just prioritising on playing as many bodies as I can. And Kazakus' potion, well, that could be a way out for him. And even if he finds a potion like Mystic Wool to turn my minions into sheep, N'Zoth the Corruptor would still be able to seal out this game. So that was a really fun win against a Warlock there, just showcasing the crazy value that you can get from Pyros. Now I thought that was it for my video. I got rank 6, was pretty happy. But my luck with this deck continued. So we're going to showcase one final game here. And it's a full game. It's against a Paladin. And rank 5 is on the line.
Hello.
Now it's a Murloc Paladin. So we can expect him to be relatively aggressive, I think, early on. Especially if he has that stream of Murlocs that he can play one after another. Now I'm just thinking, would you ever coin a Doomsayer out here on turn 1? I don't think you do. I think we wait and we see what he does here. If he has the Rockpool Hunter, that could be problematic. Rockpool Hunter would buff that 1 attack Murloc to 2 attack. He'd have 4 attack on the board. On turn 3 he could play the War Leader and he'd be able to kill a Doomsayer. But thankfully that's not a Rockpool Hunter, that's a giant crab. And Murloc War Leader now actually would do nothing for him. In fact, I don't think, apart from equality, I don't think there's a way of him dealing with that Doomsayer, dealing 4 damage. There's no coin in his hand, so he can't bring out True Silver Champion.
Well played.
So, I don't know what he's thinking about here. Is there some card that he's got in his hand that he can play right now that can do something for him? Okay, he was thinking about whether or not to hear about. Not sure why. Okay, we're setting up duplicate here because the intention is to play Kazakus next turn. Okay, another Inquisitor, sure. And another hero power. He's taking this quite slowly. Interesting. So it would appear that he's not as much of an aggressive paladin and more of a mid-range paladin with Murlocs. But anyway, we've got what we wanted. We've got the 4 damage AoE to the board, and that is so good at dealing with Murloc War Leader. It's so good at dealing with Gentle Megasaur. That is exactly the Kazakus potion I needed. Let's see what he does here. Let's see if he kills Kazakus. Most people don't suspect duplicate. I think they only ever consider Ice Barrier, Ice Block. I want to see if he'll fall for it, and he does fall for it. That's really interesting. So we get double Kazakus back to hand here. So 2 more potions can be discovered. And we could just take 2 more 5-cost potions, doing 4 damage AoE. Anyway, we don't use the potion here. It's not worth it. But the question is, what do we do here? There's a lot of options in our hand, potentially. We can coin out Sylvanas, for instance. We could play our Secret and Ping. There's options. We've got 10 cards in hand, so we need to be conscious of that. And now we play the waiting game. We just wait for him to play stuff. Oh, Spikeridged Steed. Okay, so he's thinking that at 9 health, he's thinking that I'm going to struggle to get through the Steed. So, in response, we'll just play Sylvanas. This response here is just us being awkward. Wow, oh my gosh, here comes the committal. So, if in doubt, ignore Sylvanas and push face, and that is exactly what he's doing. We don't have Reno in hand, and that's a bit of a concern. Okay, how do we do this then? So, we can steal something here. I was looking at Meteor, but we may want to save Meteor for something bigger, something else. So we can play the Kazakus potion. We could deal the damage to the board. It injures our Sylvanas, which is important here. Kill off Murkai. And we steal a taunt. That's good. Oh, and let's not forget, we've got armor as well. So, all in all, that worked out really, really well. And next turn, we could coin out Alexstrasza if needed. Once again, our hand is chock full of options. Now, he's just doing anything he can to get board presence. Okay. So how do we deal with that? Do we just Meteor that? I know I said I wanted to save Meteor for something big, but it's convenient here. And we have Kazakus potions still to come, so... Okay, it's Avenge. Well, that works out pretty well. You just trade. So we get the value from his Spikeridged Steed, and that must feel so bad for him. Wow, a Mega Sauna 1/1. Anything for board presence, and he takes the poison effect. Okay. Well, just play Kazakus and see what we get. We're going for 10 cost here. And, you know, just take damage. It's fine. And do you know what? Our hand is full of cards. We may as well play the second Kazakus too. Being greedy, another 10 cost. I like my Mystic Wool, and we'll take the Demon. Sure. So, we've had insane value with Kazakus in this game. And he may be looking at my health total and thinking that there's some hope left for him. But as soon as we draw Reno, we'll be fine. I don't feel the need to commit a Kazakus potion here. Ice Barrier is tempting, but actually Polymorph Board deals with Tyrion. I like that. I mean, I have Polymorph in hand as well. But we may as well just keep our options open. Our hand is just rich in options here. And that's how I like it. It feels a bit like overkill as well. My 9 cards versus his 1 card there. Which is a very sad looking Murloc. And do you know what's crazy? We didn't even need Bran Bronzebeard in this game with Kazakus. We had our Kazakus value from duplicate, so Bran is redundant in this particular game. We're just going to set up for lethal now, I think. And I'm actually going to clear the Murloc. Let's not take a risk. Let's not take a gamble. What if he has equality? But with the damage on board, plus the 8 damage potion, it's over. There's nothing he can do beyond taunt. So Sunkeeper Tarim? No? Play a secret. Sure.
Well played.
Alright, we test for Get Down. It's not Noble Sacrifice.
I will mourn.
And it's over. Going out in style there with the Kazakus potion. Feels good. Oh, it was Getaway Coda. Okay. Fair enough. And there's the bonus streak into rank 5. And I'm really proud of that achievement now because I've managed to hit rank 5 in the first week, within the first week of this new August season. And usually it takes me 2, sometimes 3 weeks as a casual player to hit rank 5. So to have achieved it as quickly as I have, as a casual player, remember, I'm pretty proud of that. And the other benefit, of course, is that I've hit rank 5 before the new expansion is going to be released. So that's going to give me a bit of time, once the expansion hits, just to experiment, just to have fun, and not to worry about my rank. So that'll be a fun experience. So if you've watched this video and if you think this deck appeals to you, maybe you want to give it a try before the expansion gets released later this week. I believe the day it's coming out is Thursday, so that gives you a couple of days to play around with this deck, and if you enjoy it, please do write in the comments section below and tell me what you think. Now, my next video will be related to the new expansion, and it will be a pack opening video. I'm hoping to open anywhere between 150 and 200 packs, so it's going to be quite the experience. So please look out for that later in the week, and I'd be honoured if you join me to see how many legendaries we can get with the Knights of the Frozen Throne expansion. So thank you very much for joining me, everyone, and I'll see you all again later this week. Do take care now.